Which CFB teams are getting buys? Who's the NFL MVP? And who is our dream Thanksgiving guest? All that and more coming right up. It's the water cooler. Where else would you rather be? Good morning and welcome to the Water Cooler, your home for USC Sports Banter. I'm your host, Anthony Patino, joined alongside Terrence Holden, Casey Kasler, and Dylan Luden. Now guys, the college football rankings are shaking up, and it's getting crazy in those rankings. With so much going on, I gotta know, who do you guys think are getting the 4 buys in the playoffs?
Look, I think we can all agree Ohio State is probably going to get that 1 seed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. They've looked the most dominant. They're probably going to win the Big Ten. That being said, I have a little shakeup in mind because I have Indiana falling out of that top 4. I have Texas Tech making it in, and Alabama and Texas A&M both sneaking in.
But you realize that Indiana is playing Wisconsin and Purdue to close the season.
Oh, I think they went out. I think that they are dropped after they lose to Ohio State.
I'm a little surprised at how many Texas Techs there are. I think Texas Tech wins out, and I think they're not going to play a lot of great teams other than maybe BYU again. But I really like what I've seen from the Red Raiders so far, and I think that the committee leaves Indiana out because of SEC bias. And a second Texas team makes it in.
Wow.
I'm thinking ahead. I'm thinking ahead of the committee. I know how these people work.
So you're thinking SEC bias in 2 Texas teams, Terrence?
2 Texas. Oh, even though one of them
tough.
even though one of them isn't the SEC. But yes, I do think that 2 SEC teams make those buys, and Texas Tech gets that final spot.
Well, I'm glad we all picked Ohio State across the board.
Yeah.
We almost all picked Indy. I'm surprised you don't have Indiana because they have an easy schedule on the way out. That
No, I
Wisconsin
know.
and Purdue. So I don't really know about that.
So the way I'm thinking about it is they lose to Ohio State by 2+ touchdowns, and then they get dropped in a close one to Alabama.
in the
A&M.
championship.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I have Georgia in here because of their hard schedule. They have to play Georgia Tech and Texas. If they can win, I think they can win both. I think if they win both, they're in for sure. Those are 2 marquee ranked wins down the stretch.
For sure? I don't know about for sure.
But
I don't know about for sure either.
It's the SEC.
Yeah, I think you're taking. I think you're
bias.
taking similar principles to me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But, I picked Texas Tech as
Wow,
well.
they're getting along for once.
I know.
for
I
once.
kind of like this.
No, I picked Texas Tech.
Become best friends?
Yeah, I picked Texas Tech though because I just think they need a Big 12 champion in there. They're gonna get that bye, and I think just a lot of the SEC teams are really good, and they're gonna clash with each other and trying to get that final spot. Obviously, A&M's the best SEC team this season by far.
By far? I don't know about by far.
I do think
That's
they are
not-
the best.
For a team that
SEC
struggled with Arkansas and Auburn, I don't know by far.
Their record still looks really good to me. Ohio State,
9-1.
easy. That's a lock. Indiana, I think, have looked really good as well. But
So
those
you
are
have
just
one
the
SEC
easy
team?
4. Yes, I do.
Okay.
But I can see SEC kind of
Interesting.
rounding out the
Well,
rest of the
I
top.
also have one.
He also has
I
one.
also have one SEC team, and I think Alabama ends up taking the SEC championship. Obviously, Ohio State's winning out, and I think they beat Indiana, but I think it's going to be close enough where Indiana's still going to stay in. Kind of opposite what you guys were, just one of you was saying. I think the loser of SEC gets out, and that brings Texas Tech in with the Big 12 championship.
kinda
I
agree
think they're
with that.
definitely win the Big 12 without, unfortunately, your Cougs. They're gone.
Oh, man.
BYU, they're gone.
They're
Texas Tech is
dead.
taking
They
the Big 12.
destroy- yeah.
And I think that brings them into the
No, you're
bye
right,
week.
you're right.
So I'm a little bit surprised that you guys didn't drop Indiana more than one place, all of you. Because I could see Indiana still making it as that 3 or 4. I just see that Ohio State beats them by at least a touchdown or 2. And
I think it's gonna be
they
close.
drop. I just don't see how you
Neutral site
keep
game.
them as 2.
One touchdown isn't huge, though.
No, I know. I just think that Alabama, Texas A&M, or whoever the SEC becomes closer. And I think that because Ohio State will beat them by more, I think that Indiana drops at least to 3. And I think the SEC champion becomes number 2. I would be really surprised if the SEC champion is not number 2.
So do you think the SEC champion, in this case, your case, Texas, do you think they're killing Alabama then?
No, the way I see it is, like I said, I think the way that the committee thinks about this is because they're playing hard. Theoretically, the SEC is playing harder teams. And because Indiana doesn't really have, other than that Oregon win, they will have really no other great wins, I guess. Maybe Illinois, But then you look at A&M, you look at Alabama. I just
To be
don't.
fair, their schedule's so easy. Like,
Yeah, but I think that
Yeah.
that's part of it is the problem.
Yeah.
I just don't see a world where the SEC champion doesn't leapfrog Indiana if they lose.
I guess I understand that point, but also I think just at the end of the day, Ohio State and Indiana are better than all the SEC teams, though.
I agree with that.
I
I
agree
think
too.
I think Ohio State. I think we can all agree. Ohio State is that clear favorite. That being said, I'm not going to definitively say that Indiana is better.
I don't know if
than-
anyone of
than
us
A&M.
can because they
No.
haven't played anybody. A&M
Yeah.
has.
That's true.
A&M has.
I mean, they beat Oregon and Austin.
Yeah, but
Indiana,
that's a big win.
Indiana gets everything done, though.
That's the thing.
Even,
Are we sure
even in
Oregon's
the game
good,
where they
though?
looked bad, they
That
still
is
got
true.
it done.
I
Yes.
mean, it's tough. I still think that A&M might be a little bit worse than Indiana. But like I said, the way I see it, the way I believe that the CFP committee ranks things and how they have in the past is these SEC teams are going to end up leapfrogging a team like Indiana.
I just don't get how you have two SEC teams in there. If Alabama loses that championship game, I don't know how they're in the top 4.
That's a fair point. I still think that the way, like I said, the way I think about it is the SEC is going to end up getting 2 teams, and I don't think it's going to be Georgia. I think Georgia drops it to Texas. Shout out Jared.
Shout out
Wait,
producer Jared.
so do you think A&M's beating Texas then?
Yeah.
Okay. Then,
Yeah, oh, well.
okay. Well, at least you're
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
consistent. I mean, I disagree respectfully, but
Yeah.
So, Casey, do you think the championship's going to be Alabama, Georgia?
Yeah. I do. I think Texas A&M is losing to Texas,
But they'd also have to drop another game.
but
Because
they
they're
have two.
undefeated.
They have 2 tough games coming up.
It's Texas A&M?
Yeah, they have South Carolina coming up. I think they lose to South in Charleston.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Oh,
Columbia.
all right, let's
Columbia, same
Look,
thing.
that's a whole nother story.
Absolutely.
But look, as we're talking, there's a lot of great teams in football right now, especially in the NFL. But who's the best? Let's find out with another start bench cut. This time, like I said, we're doing NFL teams. So let's see who we got. We're talking Colts, Broncos, and Seahawks. And now, we made our picks already. So Terrence, why don't you start with yours?
Yeah, I'll start off with mine. Oh,
Casey,
no,
you're
Casey,
out.
never mind. We'll start off with
I'm gonna
Casey.
jump the gun. First of all, let's give me like 2014 nostalgia right now. These teams
Yeah,
being
literally,
good.
literally.
I think the Colts are legit. They have the best running back in the world, Jonathan Taylor.
My thoughts exactly, Casey. We're agreeing a lot today, man.
Daniel Jones.
This is a first. This is a first out of your
blue
entire
moon.
life.
You guys should have seen us on Wednesday. This is a once in a blue moon occurrence.
Nobody understands how good Daniel Jones is. He's doing his job.
Okay.
How do you feel about that, Giants fans? How do you feel about that?
I know how bad he can be, and he's starting to be like that. So let's keep going.
I want to skip over the Seahawks for a second. I think the Broncos are fraudulent. They have like no good
Yeah.
wins. They beat the Eagles because of bad officiating, and other than that, they have no good wins. Their offense sucks. Their best receiver is Troy Franklin.
No.
Cortland Sutton? Are you
Come on.
forgetting about
It's
Cortland
Sutton's
Sutton?
good.
It was kind of a joke.
Okay.
Cortland Sutton is, but like Troy Franklin from a fantasy perspective is getting a lot of
A
points. so I
fantasy
respect that.
perspective,
It's true.
bro.
As a Cortland Sutton owner, I'm pretty disappointed.
Yeah.
Bro, as
So-
a fantasy perspective, fantasy is not the actual.
It's not real
NFL.
life. It's not real life.
Well, that's why it's called fantasy. And then the Seahawks are good. They picked up Rashid Shaheed, who I think is a great addition. I mean, they need weapons, but they have a tough schedule going forward. The NFC West is tough, so that's why I have these 3 in order.
That's a fair cut.
I want to see who's next before I reveal mine because I want to talk more about the Seahawks in a second.
Oh, there you
Perfect,
go.
it's me. I think the Seahawks might be the best team in the NFL, and we're going to see that this Sunday against the Rams. Awesome game. That offense is incredible. I think from top to bottom, there really isn't a lot of weak spots on the Seahawks in general. Maybe you can point to that offensive line who has gotten a lot better over the last couple of years. But they have arguably the best receiver in football in JSN. They have a
He is.
lethal, yeah.
He is.
They have a lethal rushing attack in Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. Then you have Sam Darnold who's out there slinging the ball. I think that they are fantastic offensively. That's not even talking about the defense. You mentioned 2014 vibes. This is the Legion of Boom reincarnated. They force.
That's a bold take.
They are I don't even think it's that bold. They are fantastic on like all levels. Because the Seahawks, the Legion of Boom, it was always the DBs that you knew about. They were fantastic.
Cam Chancellor,
Exactly.
Patrick
The
Sherman.
D line was pretty solid. You guys like Michael Bennett. This Seahawks defensive line is even better. I think that I seriously think like
Why are they better than the Colts though here?
I think they're just a more well-rounded team. I think the quarterback's better, wide receivers better, not running backs, but I think overall they're better, and I think the defense is a little bit better. But I mentioned the Colts, still a solid team, don't get me wrong,
Broncos, I'm not going to reiterate what Casey said because I agree with that. I don't think they're that good.
You agree?
I know. Crazy. dude.
Another one.
Another one. Is that like 3?
You guys are on a roll today. And well, Terrence, I'm not agreeing with you.
Wow.
I'm starting the Colts.
Cut Seahawks.
I'm
That's
starting
crazy.
the Colts.
Cutting the Seahawks is crazy.
I think you have to start the Colts right now. I think they're by far the best team in the league. I will say some of the defensive things. I don't think they're the best defense, but by far offense, they've been slinging everything from Daniel Jones. Jonathan Taylor is the best running back in football right now. Probably the best player, not MVP though. And they have Michael
We'll get to
Pittman
that
Jr.
later.
They have some great talent. I think there's no world you can't start the Colts.
I just think the Seahawks overall are better. I mean, other than running back, and I guess the offensive line is probably better, but skill position wise, I would take the Seahawks in almost every category.
Yeah.
Well, there's one thing I want to say. You said Sam Darnold was slinging, but what happened to Sam Darnold in the playoffs last year?
Yeah.
He fell
okay.
apart.
Like
And what
Daniel
That's one of the
Jones.
big reasons
But
I'm
his
cutting.
O-line-
Quarterback
Hit
is
the
Daniel
O-line, though.
Jones. I mean, if you're talking about the past, I feel like that's kind of unfair.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones was the backup. Daniel Jones was backing up Sam Darnold last year.
Shoot, that's-
Yeah.
Look,
For like a couple games.
Yeah, but
right,
it
here
still
you go.
was.
Well,
oh
let's-
boy.
you know what,
abysmal.
let's- Let's
Wait,
go.
wait.
Let me explain.
Dylan,
Let me
another
explain.
terrible take.
No, hang on.
Another terrible take.
You're not
from
even letting
Dylan.
me explain myself
Dylan,
here.
you've been
No.
Dylan, every take you've said the past like 5 takes, including last show, has been terrible.
You're not
we
even
get a
letting
taste?
me
Let's hear it, let's
explain
hear it, let's
myself.
let him hear
You're
it,
not
let's
letting
let
me
him hear it,
explain
let's let him
myself.
hear it.
Okay, let me just say this. The Broncos have the best defense out of any one of these teams
Okay.
right now. Nick Bonito has been absolutely fantastic, and they have the best cornerback in the league in Pat Surtain. The Broncos as well. I don't really care about their, who they played so far, but scoring 34 points in the fourth quarter gives me mega
Against
props.
who?
Tell me,
Against who?
how did
The
they?
New York Giants, my
Okay.
team. I think it's
There
fantastic.
you go.
Dylan.
Bo Nix can turn on their
Tell me,
running
what
game
was the
has been
score
great.
of that game against the Las Vegas Raiders last week?
I don't care.
I don't care what that means.
That was our Super Bowl.
everything.
Sean Payton has obviously won a Super Bowl. He's a great coach. He's
Dylan,
brought the Broncos
I'll
back
agree
to
with you on
relevance.
this. The defense is phenomenal. It's the best in the
do.
league.
I do.
The problem
Yeah.
is they have Mo Picks at starting quarterback.
But Bo Nix can
Mo
turn
Picks?
when Bo Nix can turn it on. He's great.
And Dobbins is injured now too.
Bo Nix and hypotheticals, it's like, something with Oregon quarterbacks. They're just in hypotheticals. They are undefeated.
I do think it's pretty close between them and the Seahawks. I will say that
Okay,
because
I'll
the
take that.
Seahawks
I'll
are very
take that.
well rounded.
But I
They have
feel
the
like-
best wide receiver in the NFL right
Yeah,
now.
okay.
Sam Darnold has looked phenomenal. I'm cutting the Colts because why? Daniel Jones is falling back down to earth. He has 4 interceptions in his last 2 games and 6 fumbles. That is what nobody's talking about. The fumble problem
still
is
winning
back
games.
for
Hasn't
Daniel
lost.
Jones.
still winning
he didn't-
games.
He
No,
hasn't
they
lost.
lost one of those games.
But let's make
Casey.
it clear though, he hasn't lost most of the.
And their
those
defense,
fumbles.
by the way,
He's
is in the bottom half of the league.
He's
Their
recovered
total
most of those
defense is in the
fumbles.
bottom half of the league.
He's
I don't care
recovered
that they
most of
traded for
those fumbles.
Sauce Gardner, who's a little bit overrated. He does not deserve 2 first picks, first-round picks.
Cutting the Colts even with Jonathan Taylor.
I
is
watch
actually
watching the playoffs when they fall off and they lose in the first round.
Whatever
Not
you
gonna
say, Dylan. But we're talking about the
go.
best teams, but let's break it down even more because a lot of this talk was centered around the players. Who do you guys think is going to win the MVP?
Look, it's Jonathan Taylor to me. We just kind of talked about this. This is the best player in football, and I think the award should go to the best player in football. If the Colts are able to make a deep run in the playoffs, it will be because of Jonathan Taylor. And he has 4 3-touchdown games this season. That is insane. That is utterly absurd. He had over 240 yards rushing last game against the Falcons in London. He is a ridiculous player. If the Colts are going to make a deep run, which I think they might, it is going to be because Jonathan Taylor is fantastic. Sure, you can credit the offensive line a little bit. They are great. Jonathan Taylor, otherworldly player.
Well, to your point, to be a good running back, you need to have a good offensive line.
Yeah,
You need a
exactly.
good
Yeah,
offensive
yeah,
line.
yeah.
But the one thing I agree with you on a lot of this. He is definitely the best player in football right now.
I mean,
but the
I think
MVP is a quarterback award.
So you're right, but I also think that's ridiculous, and I think that's wrong.
Doesn't
It's the same with the
matter
Heisman
what-
There's
Trophy.
been better
Look,
rushing
is it-
seasons. in the
I
past.
think you could have argued that,
That's all I gotta
that
say.
Saquon Barkley should have been the MVP last year.
Is
Like
it ridiculous
100%.
that's going to go quarterback? Yes. But at the end of the day, it is. And that's why me and Casey got the same pick. Casey,
Yeah.
why don't you explain that?
Yeah, Drake May. I mean, to your point about the quarterback award, a non-quarterback. Last time they won it was 2012. Adrian Peterson. It's not going. History is not changing overnight today.
I mean, he's having an Adrian Peterson type of season.
not
I'm just
quite.
saying.
No,
Not
Drake
quite.
May.
It's
Drake,
not quite,
look,
but he's having a great year.
Drake May is the most accurate passer in the NFL. No one saw this coming.
First in passing yards.
First in passing yards. He doesn't have a super flashy receiving room. I mean, Stephon Diggs is his
No,
best
you-
receiver
you're-
who's washed.
I believe 4th best QBR, too.
Yeah, one of the best QBRs. He doesn't throw a lot of picks. He can run the ball. I think he has close to 300 rushing yards on the season for a guy who's mainly known to sling it.
Pure
That's
athlete.
Pure athlete. And the Patriots, and most importantly, are good. They're going to go to the playoffs.
So I want to credit though to the Patriots. Discredit. They've played the easiest schedule in football. They have a
That's not
really.
that's not Drake May's fault.
I know, but I'm just saying. I think the games coming up is going to be more of a measuring stick of how much of an MVP candidate Drake May really is.
Look, they beat some.
Who have the
lesser
Colts played?
They beat some lesser teams, but they beat some
Who
good
have the
ones
Colts
too.
played?
The Colts have one of the easiest
Broncos?
divisions. The Broncos are fraudulent.
Anyways,
I need to think about it. I don't know if the Colts.
let's move
schedule
on.
my memory.
He's not ready.
I
He's
need to
not
talk
ready.
about my candidate because he has a legitimate case this year at, 37 years old. That's Matthew
Is he
Stafford.
really 37?
Yes, he is
Wow.
37 years old. Matthew Stafford might be having his best season in the NFL.
Yeah.
He is top 5 in almost every single statistical category in terms of quarterbacks. 25 touchdowns. No one's close to that. It's like around 5 touchdowns is second place. 2 interceptions. Best touchdown to interception ratio
has way
in the
more
league.
weapons than Drake.
He also has played
See-
one less game than every other top quarterback in the league. That's Drake May. All the other, quarterbacks are in the top 5. And he's just doing a lot of things right now
What's
that
your
you would
definition
think
of top 5? What do you mean by that?
passing yards, touchdowns, interceptions, QBR.
He has way more weapons than Drake May. though.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, but Puka Nakua has been injured for part of the year.
Devontae Adams doesn't exist, and
Dude.
Tyler Higbee, and
Yeah.
Well, I know, but they're
Tyron
also older.
Williams?
Tyler Higbee doesn't do anything.
Tyron
Let's
Williams.
just
The
slow down.
Rams
That's not
clearly got more weapons, but we're going to take a quick break. And up next, we try sports Mad Libs and debate on our dream Thanksgiving guest. Don't go anywhere. The water cooler will be right back. Welcome back to the water cooler. I'm Anthony Bettino, joined alongside again by Terrence Holton, Kits Counselor, and now Campbell Donovan. All right, we're trying something a little different here, guys. There's so many what ifs and hypotheticals in sports, and we want to take a look at them with some sports Mad Libs. And for this, we're going to be taking a look at the NBA with these Mad Libs. So here's what we're doing. We're going to talk if 2 players were on one team, if they would be the best NBA duo ever. Specifically, a point guard and another player. So I'll do mine first. I'm saying if Jalen Brunson and Charles Barkley were on the Pistons, they would be the best NBA duo ever.
This is a weird one. This is really weird. Like,
Look,
I'm just
it's
gonna
Mad
say
Libs.
that.
Look, it's Mad Libs. You gotta get creative, right?
But
You gotta get a little
so
fun
like
with it.
the Pistons, as in like the current Pistons, as in like the bad boy Pistons,
thinking
as in
either-
the
I'm thinking-
2004
he just likes
Pistons.
the uniforms, man.
I'm thinking honestly either one works. I'm thinking right now or the Bad Boy Pistons. It might probably more Bad Boy.
So
'cause
are
let's
you
throw
saying you
Charles
want
Barkley.
Jalen Brunson on the Pistons right now? That's what I'm hearing.
No.
It sounds
not-
like you want to trade Jalen Brunson.
Whoa.
That sounds like that's what I
He
heard.
just got
Whoa.
injured.
That's
Whoa.
what I
He just
heard.
got hurt,
Also
man.
what I
Do
heard.
not
Yeah.
disrespect my King of New York like that.
It sounds
I
like
would
you
Sounds
want-
like you
I
disrespected
sounds like
your
you
king.
want
would-
him on the
I would
Pistons.
never. I'm just saying he'd be good in the Pistons. I don't. Of course, I
brutal
don't want
East-
him to leave the Knicks. But no, I think Jalen Brunson and Charles Barkley would be a fun, interesting duo. I think they'd be able to put up some great numbers, and also I actually think they'd have good chemistry together. I think Charles Barkley would make Jalen Brunson laugh a lot and keep him in a very good mood, and I think they would just gel really well together.
Yeah, because that would work really well with the bad boy Pistons of that
would.
of the '80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would really work.
I think Jalen Brunson would love Charles Barkley.
I think that's possible. I just don't think that they gel with the Pistons.
No, trust.
No?
Trust.
Just trust?
They do.
Okay. That
Trust.
doesn't make
They
any
do.
sense. That does not make any sense, I'll be honest. But let's move into mine. And mine, yes, I'm biased. Very biased. If Damian Lillard and Victor Wembanyama were on the 2019, specifically the 2019
Who they get
Trailblazers-
swept to in the first round?
No,
Who?
it was not the first round. It was not the first round. It was the Western Conference Finals. They would be the
They still got
best.
swept.
They would be
It's
the
the
best
first
NBA
round of the
duo
Warrior
ever.
season because their season doesn't start till the Western
Enough out
Conference
of you.
Finals.
Look, Damian Lillard, the problem throughout his entire career, he never had a defensive superstar alongside of him. You put the alien, you put the freak of nature that is Victor Wembanyama on those 2019 Blazers, a damn good team who blew 3 17-point leads against the Warriors in the Western
Say it
Conference
again a
Finals.
little louder.
Enough out of you, enough out of you. We were agreeing earlier
Oh, right.
Back
that
to
it would
normal,
be
we're
the
back
best
to
thing ever.
normal.
Look, I think in about 10 to 15 years, Victor Wembanyama might be considered the greatest player of all time. So if you stick him right now on that 2019 Blazers team with Damian Lillard, who never had any help other than CJ McCollum, if you replace like Yusuf Nurkic with Victor Wembanyama, insane difference maker.
Or
best
dare I
NBA
say,
duo ever.
Myers Leonard?
Oh my God!
But
wow.
also, this is a very pro-Oregon, pro-Portland list right
I don't know what you're
I don't
talking
know if
about.
this is the best NBA duo
I think they
This
would.
is
be.
just-
ever.
just for
This
Portland.
is just for
I don't know what
Portland
you're
to win
talking
in
about.
2019
No, I
and
don't
living
think.
a little bit
I don't think. I don't know what you're
vicariously
talking
through
about. That kind of
Wemby.
looks like the greatest duo ever. You
Yeah,
have the
I'm not
shot
sure
making
about
ability of
that.
Damian Lillard, arguably one of the greatest pure scorers of all time, and then Victor Wembanyama, who I think might be one of the best pure scorers down the road, plus easily, arguably the best defender in the NBA right now.
Okay, well, if you want to look at who's actually the best, go to mine.
I think mine's next.
Okay,
first.
well, it's actually
so,
Campbell.
Before
See-
you talk about the Warriors again
Campbell.
and again and again, I actually picked the Trailblazers.
This is like the
as
happiest I've
team.
ever been. Campbell, I don't think we've ever agreed on
We've
like
never
any-
agreed on anything ever, but I just think the Trailblazers
need something. They need a win.
All right, I didn't realize
And
this would be back
I
ended.
think with Magic Johnson, the best passer in NBA history, along with
Nikola Jokic,
with Wilt Chamberlain, not the best shooter, the best scorer in NBA history. That team is winning multiple championships, bringing one home to Portland.
As much as I absolutely love this scenario, I have to disagree with two of the things you said about Magic and Wilt. First off, Magic is not the best passer of all time. And second, I don't think Wilt's the best
Yes, he
scorer
is.
of
I
all
saw him play. Yes, he
You
is.
saw him play? You saw his 100-point game,
Yeah, I
Casey?
was there. I was
Yeah.
there in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
I still,
The only
my biggest conspiracy is I
100-point
don't think that ever
scorer.
happened, by the way.
Yeah, I feel like I can't get behind
There was
Wilt
only
too much.
one journalist there who happened to hand him a picture that said 100 on it, and he took a picture of it.
At the time that
Ridiculous.
Wilt was playing, he was considered one of the best in the league. He was
At the time he was playing, if I was playing then, I would be
I
averaging
could've dropped 20 in
I was
those
averaging
games.
20 a game.
He
You see
was-
Bob Cousy highlights?
he was in the conversation as one of the GOATs, and I kind of still think he is.
Philly bias.
Okay, well, here's my.
Oh, but you got
Or
it.
not.
Well, explain it quickly.
Real quick, Casey. Let me hear it real quick.
I mean, it's the only right answer. Steph Curry's the greatest shooter of all time.
You
I
can't
agree
agree.
with Terrence here. Victor
dude,
Wembanyama.
he's
Like the
ridiculous.
Warriors
This
have
is
not.
just you guys both added
so
the
much
people
fun.
that you want on
No,
the
no, no, no,
board,
no, no,
you're talking
adding
about. I don't know
Wemby
who you're
to
talking
both of
about.
your
Wait.
teams. This is the only thing that's happening.
This is ridiculous.
The Warriors have
Me and
not
Cam were
had-
having fun with it. This is not the point of that.
We put Jalen Brunson.
You don't know. Yeah, not on the Knicks, though.
Yeah, you just put the best player in the NBA on both
Because
of
the
your
Warriors
teams
haven't had a good
when they were in the
seven-footer forever,
championship. This
since
is
Manute.
ridiculous. This is
not the
biased
point of this.
journalism. This is biased
The Warriors have not
journalism.
had a good 7-footer since Manute Bull.
You have Steph Curry.
You
They're
just
on your
won
We need to have a 7-footer.
4 or 5 rings in the past decade.
Steph Curry,
You had
Kevin
a
Durant,
dynasty.
Andre Iguodala.
It's not good enough.
You
We
had a
want more
dynasty.
rings. We want more rings.
Enough from Casey. I can't listen to this.
All right, look,
anymore.
we need to get away from ourselves and talk about something different. Last week we showed what our Traveler mascot does every week. Now it's time to see a day in the life of Tommy Trojan.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to spend an afternoon with Tommy Trojan?
What exactly he does, and honestly, I'm excited. What about you, Alana?
I'm super excited. You never know what we're gonna get into, so let's find out.
Let's go check it out.
Tommy's gonna order. What do you want, Tommy? Anything? Okay, Tommy Trojan's drink is coming right up. Okay, so next up on Tommy Trojan's afternoon routine is to make some TikToks. If you didn't know, he's basically famous. Literally famous, walk around, couldn't even walk without people stopping him.
Everybody knows this guy.
Everybody knows this guy, and now we're gonna do some social media content because that's what he's great at. Let's do it.
I want to see it.
So next step is to go view the iconic statue. What a better way to do that than with Tommy Trojan himself. Okay, so we're here with the iconic Trojan statue. Just take a look. So in his afternoon routine, he likes to come by, stare at the statue. He's a great representation of it. So we'll give him his time to take a moment to embrace his statue. It's game day next week at Galen Center, the Nebraska. Oh, are you okay? Tommy's good. Everything is good. Tommy is good.
Now about to head into the student store. There's no filming inside. There's no filming inside.
Now we are in front of the Lions Center, where we're gonna see exactly what Tommy Trojan's workout routine looks like. And as you can tell, I'm really curious.
Let's go.
I'm gonna take some tips for myself. So we couldn't go in Lions Center because, as you can see, Tommy Trojan is too buff, and some people were maybe intimidated by how he looks. And honestly, I would be too. But we're gonna find some alternative ways of how he works out outside. You ever heard of calisthenics? Looks like I think that's what he does. So I might be taking some tips from him. That's all we had. Thank you so much. It's been awesome. Appreciate you.
Well, it's almost time for Thanksgiving, so I gotta ask you guys. If you could invite anyone to Thanksgiving, who would it be?
I guess I'll go first because I'm bringing the person who is leading the Thanksgiving gratitude conversation. That is going to be Jalen Hurts.
Oh my
Your
God.
fortune cookie
No.
QB.
Jalen
No.
Instagram
Hurts.
caption QB.
If there's anyone that's talking about gratitude, talking about, I don't know, he's just such a happy person. And also, I know we're talking about Thanksgiving dinner. I know the way that he's playing right now, the way he runs, the way he's passing. He's going to be grubbing at Thanksgiving dinner. He is going to bring one of the best meals, and I would love to talk to him at
You know
Thanksgiving.
who wouldn't be grubbing? Chris Paul, because he's a vegan. So that's why I would invite him, because he would just have to watch us all eat turkey. And
What
that
is
just,
wrong with it? That's
Rude.
psychotic.
Casey,
That's
what?
psychotic.
he's vegan.
That's still psychotic.
I mean, maybe we could give him like a plant-based accommodation, but I think it'd be fun.
Casey, there's a lot of food at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and also look at all the
I don't think
turkeys.
we need to
You're
worry
just going to
about
let him
that.
sit there and
Well,
like.
he doesn't want it. He's vegan.
So why are you inviting him then?
I
That
like how
feels
Campbell got a
rude.
turkey to herself, by the way. Just over there.
Thanks.
I like how it looks like I'm just normally in the picture. Terrence, well, explain your pick.
Yeah, I did Jordan Mailata, the offensive lineman for
Yeah,
the
that's
Philadelphia
out of nowhere.
Eagles. No, no. Let me.
Oh, it's not out
No,
of
it's actually a
nowhere.
great explanation. So he'd eat all the food. He'd eat all the food that you make because he's a great guy and also he needs to eat. Then afterwards, he'd use his golden pipes to sing us some Christmas carols. You know those Eagles Christmas.
Sing
lines?
one for us. Come on.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Okay.
Vincent? Oh,
Jack, no, stop it. You ruined it. Anthony,
Let him do the singing.
you
Let him
ruined
do
it. Yeah,
the singing.
exactly. We can
Yeah.
leave it to Jordan.
Let us sing into Jordan.
This is like the second time you've chosen Jameis Winston for one of these.
Yeah,
by the
of
way.
course. Jameis Winston is my favorite person ever, never mind athlete. He would be so funny at Thanksgiving. I also know he would bring some amazing food, and he'd be eating everything, and he's just like the happiest guy ever. He would have a conversation with anybody. My dad doesn't like to talk to people, and I'm sure Jameis would get a great conversation out of him at Thanksgiving dinner.
I will say Jameis and Jordan, I just saw Jameis singing a little bit of Hamilton. They could put on a little bit
nice.
of a
Ooh.
melody
We could get a
So we've
little
got
bit
a
of
great
going on.
Thanksgiving.
Maybe we
I
get two
will
invites.
say.
Make sure you don't bring any crab legs.
No crab legs. You gotta keep that away from James. But that's all the time we have for today. For our entire cast and crew, I'm Anthony Bettino. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll come back to your home for USC Sports Banter. We'll see you then.